Let's get back out to Houston. Earlier today, we brought you the press conference of investigators involved with that investigation regarding the 12-year-old girl whose body was found. Police announcing the arrest of 2 men in connection with that crime. For more, we're joined by Fox 26 Houston reporter Jonathan Mejia. He is joining us live now. And Jonathan, I understand that you spoke with Jocelyn, the victim's family.
That's right. I spoke with the mom, and she is just dealing with the difficulties and the realities that she no longer has her daughter alive. But today, this afternoon, hours ago, Houston police and Houston Mayor John Whitmire gave horrific details of the crime scene that they saw when they found 12-year-old Jocelyn's body here near this creek. Now, we know that 2 Hispanic men are now being charged with capital murder.
Hearing that the gentlemen that were in these surveillance videos, that they have been found and they've been caught and they've been taken in for questioning, it was the greatest news to hear this morning, to be woken up with.
The last few days have been surreal for Alexis Nungaray and her family. Her 12-year-old daughter, Jocelyn, was strangled and her body left in the creek.
It's just like, still just doesn't register. Just, I can't believe it's her. And, you know, it'll take some sinking in.
In a multi-division operation led by Houston police, 21-year-old Johan Jose Rangel Martinez and 26-year-old Franklin Jose Pena Ramos, both Venezuelan natives, are now charged with capital murder.
Charges have been filed. Now we want the justice system to do its job. If there was ever a circumstance where you do not give someone bail, this is it.
Investigators did not go into specifics on how the suspects and Jocelyn met or how Jocelyn died, only offering that those details are still being investigated, but they have submitted for a sexual assault kit to be completed.
Suspects seen meeting the victim and talking for a few minutes while they were on Kirkendall. Later, the suspects and the victim walked together to a convenience store. After a few minutes, all 3 together walked to a bridge where ultimately Jocelyn was murdered.
Police say the men have been cooperative, and so has the family of Jocelyn's 13-year-old boyfriend, who was the last to speak to her on the phone. Alexis says if she could have that night back, she would have hugged her daughter and never let go.
I would have stayed up with her. I would have just lacked sleep. I would have gave her the biggest hug. And I just probably wouldn't have let go.
Now, the immigration status of the 2 suspects are unknown at this time, but we're reaching out to federal authorities to get confirmation if they are here legally or illegally. Once we have that information, we'll be updating it both on air and online at fox26houston.com. Now, we're also waiting for Houston police to release the booking photos of the 2 suspects so we can have an updated image of the suspects. I'm reporting live in North Houston, Jonathan Mejia.
Thank you, Jonathan, and we look forward to your reporting as we continue to learn more updates on this tragic event. I'd like to bring up a tweet here for our viewers still joining us. Thank you again to Jonathan down there. But here's a tweet from Fox 26 Houston's Abigail Dye. Once again, a photo of that victim, the 12-year-old girl, Jocelyn Nungaray. 2 people arrested in connection with her murder, both charged with capital murder and are in custody. As I mentioned earlier, we did show you some of the press conference, but investigators, police, the mayor down there, they did answer some questions from the press. I'd like to play out some of those remarks that came about quickly after they had given the remarks in Spanish.
Arms and feet tied up, undressed from the bottom down. What can you tell us about this scene, and do you believe that there was a sexual assault here as well?
We're still doing a lot of that investigation. We have performed submitted for a sexual assault kit to be performed, a SANE kit on her. So that is still pending. And for everything else, it was a horrible scene, but in careful care of the investigation, that's as far as I'll go with it.
And then we're told that one of the suspects had possible bite marks on his neck. Any self-defense wounds? Do you believe that there was a struggle here and broken nails?
So again, at this point, there's things I can release, that we will release, and things that we won't. All of that, the condition of her, more specifically of the suspects, all of those things will come out in time. But for now, we are not confirming any details. And to be fair about what you just described, I don't have any information on that. Homicide might. But again, we're trying to make sure that we're being as careful with this investigation to get it all right. So I can't confirm anything at this time.
You said that Martinez and Ramos are Venezuelan. Can you confirm that? And what is the
We have reached out to Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, and they are conducting that part of the investigation in terms of their status and legality here and those types of things. So I would defer to them and defer you to them on for confirmation of those things.
And to be clear, were the roommates living in the same unit?
It appears that they were all residing in the same apartment, yes.
Okay, so, and do we know how long they have lived in the area in that particular apartment?
I don't know that for sure. We think maybe one a matter of months, but the other far less.
And the lieutenant painted a very nice picture, and thank you for that, with regards to what took place to this tragic ending. But if you can you provide us exactly about how long it took from the meeting to the breach?
Yes. So it was in the evening of the 16th that they left that restaurant. It was during the nighttime, midnight hour almost, that they were walking. And we believe that it wasn't until shortly after 1 to 2 o'clock that they were at the bridge. So it was within a span of 3-4 hours.
And is there a previous relationship between Jocelyn and these two men? How did they know each other?
So as far as we can tell right now, the communication between everyone is still a part of the investigation. We've worked really, really hard to get to this point, but a mountain of work stands before us to be able to document and look through everything that we have left.
We know that she was in an apartment. Was it at the same complex, or was it a different?
No, it was a different.
So when you mentioned that there's evidence that was found in the apartments, can you give details?
I cannot.
Have these two been cooperative with you guys at all?
Yes, they have been talking with us, and we are taking statements and talking with them. And as soon as we're done and they are booked in, like I said, we will get the pictures to you and make sure that everything that you need.
Crack the case. Was there someone who called police?
So I'm actually really, really proud of the Houston citizens. I'm actually very proud of you guys, the media. It is all of the above. With all the effort that you guys put into getting the images of the individuals out to the public in a broad scape, with all the people who worked with us, the community members up in the Northborough area, the statements from witnesses, I can't stress enough that every piece of this was all together.
If I could follow up on that question real fast.
One at a time.
Lieutenant, if I could follow up on that question there. What was the threshold that was crossed to where you were able to charge them with murder?
And I have to say it's all of it together. It's the totality of every piece of the evidence together. Once it brought it all into one place, then we were able to find them, find out who they are, link them to the location and to the actual incident itself.
So no type of confession or anything like that from either one?
So the actual statements that they've made is going to be a part of the investigation, and I can't go into that.
Let's get another question on this end over here, please.
Yes.
In relation to that question, what makes it a capital murder? Can you go into that?
Yes.
And commission of another felony?
No, actually, the age of the victim in Texas state law is all we need for it to be a capital. Under the age of 15, any murder is a capital murder.
You said the gang unit was involved. Were they just involved in the apprehension, or was they a part of the investigation?
So they actually assisted us greatly in reaching out with the community itself, and then also with surveillance and in the apprehension of the individuals. No, not that I know of, and that's still.
Do you actually have video of all three at the bridge? Do you have?
So the specifics of the actual surveillance videos, I cannot divulge at this time. I do let you know that we have evidence that compels us to believe that everyone was together throughout the entire course of this event.
We're listening here to investigators down there in Houston answering questions from the press regarding the 12-year-old whose body was found just a few days ago. Now 2 men have been charged with capital murder over in Texas. A better look at this tweet here, courtesy of Fox 26's Abigail Dye. Here is the victim, 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray. The 2 people that have been arrested, a 21-year-old and a 26-year-old, again, both charged with capital murder and are in custody.